make sure you guys read it out. Read it out loud.
Archie, did you have any trouble rescuing me? I sure did, Betty. I had to
Mochi.
beat off these other guys. Oh!
Oh, man, like our bathroom was full of Archie comics, so like I used to read that
Did you beat
all
off-
the time.
Did you beat off Archie comics in the bathroom?
No,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yay!
I love that banner because it gets to cover up the wrong time that we haven't that I still haven't had time to edit. But hopefully, shout out to Podcast Network Asia and our producer
guys.
Nikai. They're gonna be helping us out with the editing on the podcast. So the podcast should be looking tight. Ron's gonna be working on some of the videos, so that's gonna be looking tight. Sonia be hitting up the socials. And we have our special guest Dito, see comic book art. Wait, should we do the whole intro first? We should do the intro first, right, diba?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome to Usapan Retro. What's up, yo?
What up, guys?
This is the number one and only nerd talk show for titos and titas on Kumu. That's why we're number one. We're the number one and only. And we're focused here for all the titas and titos on Kumu. And we like to discuss nerd topics. And our special guest for today is comic book artist. He's actually worked on a lot of things that you guys probably know about. We have Sigmund Torre, who goes by the name Sig. And when you see his signature, his Sig is Sig, because his name is Sig. Yeah, Sig.
Sigurado ka ba? Sigurado.
Yeah. What up, Sig? Where you at, man? I love
How are you, bro?
I love your green screen background, dude. How are you?
Man, green screen background. It's one of those 360 ones, so I can actually go around and it looks the same everywhere I go.
It looks real.
Actually,
that's really
it's
impressive.
so real, eh? Look at that. Like people. No, I'm on Bulabog Beach, Boracay. Is my front yard, basically, man.
That's
Very
so crazy.
beautiful.
Welcome to the island.
So you work with like DC, Marvel, Excel, like all these really great like comic book companies, and you do it from the convenience of Boracay?
Yeah. So
That's
it's basically
insane.
remote work. So like I'm a colorist these days. So like my main gig was comics for the last 15 years or so has been coloring. So yeah, man, they send me pages from all over the world, usually from the States or Canada, and then working at home and send it back. The future.
That's so cool, man.
Coolest job ever.
Not bad.
Coolest office too.
Yeah, that's so rad. Okay, so normally,
Yeah. I mean that's the thing, because like I have
keep going. Yeah. Oh no, we got a dropout.
Yeah, and like I work on like a little. Yeah, it's cutting out a bit, but I have like a mobile studio, so it's like I can work literally from anywhere. So when I'm not at home, I'm like on the beach or at a coffee shop near the beach. Not so bad, man.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
I'm not jelly at all.
You're in Manila, for God's sake. I mean, it's the
We
best
should do
place
an
in the
episode
world.
there.
Except for Ron. Ron's actually broadcasting live from San Jose, California.
Oh, you.
Yeah, okay. What's up, man?
I'm out here,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Midnight.
Alright.
He's in the past.
Yeah,
You're in the
yeah.
past.
I'm in the
He's in
past.
the past.
I always,
That's a superpower.
I'm always talking to my friends from the future, and they don't
Yeah,
believe
we
me.
got-
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Usapan
Oh,
Retro
we got
fans
Buddy
out
here.
there.
Like, hi, Edda.
Hey.
Come say hi to Edda. Say hi to Edda. This is Edda, everyone.
Hi, Edda. Okay.
Oh my
Oh, hey!
Beach dogs, my favorite. Beach dogs, ang cute nila. Sobrang cute nila. Hey, shout out to
Look at
Eric.
it, look at it, look at it.
Eric Fro. Man, ang habat ng name mo. Shout out to Eric lang. Kasi si bro.
Oo.
I can't do.
Bruis Fergu?
hindi-
Breus Fergu?
Hindi ko yan. Okay,
know.
shout out to Eric though.
Pretty good. song,
Mike Tess, thank you for joining. Anything Unknown, hello, Anything Unknown. Shout out to everybody watching
Tweety
us on
Nine.
Kumu. If you
Hi,
guys are watching this,
Mikhail.
if you guys are watching this on Spotify or listening to this on Spotify or watching this on YouTube, we are broadcasting live on Kumu. Kumu is a really cool app made by Filipinos for Filipinos with a bunch of Filipinos from around the world. But we're gonna go get our show. We're gonna kick off our show right now. And normally we start with latest news and updates in the world of nerds. Sonia, you want to kick it off?
Oh wow, I had something, but it completely just slipped my mind. You guys go first. I'll think about it. I completely forgot we had this. Yeah, go.
Well,
Go ahead,
let me see.
Angela.
The biggest thing for me was a couple of weeks ago. I told you guys my favorite. We had Banoobs. He was pioneering Filipino gamer, and our topic was favorite online games. And I said my favorite online game was Rocket League, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
guess what? Rocket League is now free on the Nintendo Switch.
Way to
So
play.
so
Way to
that's
play.
why
Wow.
my productivity has gone to 0 because I'm playing Rocket League all the time. So
Oh,
that's
man.
really, yeah, Rocket League's my
That's a
favorite
super
game.
dodgeball. That's a super dodgeball Nintendo Switch we hit up, eh?
Yeah. But there's this game called Rocket League. It's like soccer, but you guys are
I
cars.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I've been
I know
killing it
Rocket
on that
League.
game. That's been the latest news and updates for me. What else is happening? The people can't buy PS5s and Xboxes. Boohoo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
My
else
friend
is
actually
going on?
lined up for 10 hours to get a pre-order.
The biggest
10
news
hours.
is, the biggest news is
Yeah. So,
Xbox. Xbox buying up Bethesda. That's huge, man.
oh yeah,
Mm.
that might actually make me want to buy an Xbox because
That is
that's actually
huge.
pretty. That's well, actually one of the things I do like about the Xbox is the backwards compatibility because I'm a physical game collector. Like I have the actual the discs and the DVDs.
Yeah.
And being able to replay all my old games on on these newer consoles, that's a plus for me. I know PlayStation is going to have the PS4 is going to be somewhat compatible. But I don't know about the PS3 2 and 1s, but that would have been super dope if that was.
That would have
those
been
are all
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it's not happening. So yeah,
Oh,
we'll see.
wow. Okay.
We'll see.
Let's see.
Get a PC, man. Just get a PC.
yeah,
it
new.
doesn't matter. You
Makes
get
me
everything
kind of
anyway.
reassess my,
I do
I'm
have a PC.
PC.
I have a PC, but it's sitting in the Kumu Studios right now. So I'm gonna wait till a new PC comes out, and I'm gonna get that one, dude. What else what's going on with you, Stig? Any news in the world of comics?
World of News Comics, man. No. Yeah, like I mean, just doing as far as my work now, I'm just doing a bunch of like indie work. Cause like as far as this, this thing that's been going around the world the last few months, the comic industry hasn't been what it is. But indies, like the indie projects, have been stronger than ever, which is crazy. Because like people are realizing that with the big 2, big 3, whatever, they're scaling their stuff down. It's time for people at home doing their own thing and getting it out there. As far as with Kickstarter, Indiegogo, all that stuff, it's like the time, which is really cool. So there's all this indie voices now being heard, being seen, which is a really nice time.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Woo!
Cool. What's up with you, Ron?
Well, nothing too much. The only thing I had seen earlier this week that I was actually pretty excited for was a new WandaVision
yes.
trailer.
That's right.
And
It looks really good.
looks really good. It's kind of a mix of, if I might be one of the last generations that probably watched shows like Leave It to Beaver, I Love Lucy,
I Love Lucy.
and stuff like that. Yeah, so like they kind of throw an homage to those type of days and those type of settings, but with Wanda also, you really don't know what's going on. So I'm still
More on that later with my picks, man.
Yeah. Okay. Got you.
Nice.
So I was gonna say,
Ooh.
there's a lot of good stuff happening, on the Disney Channel with the whole WandaVision thing. I believe they actually had moved it up. It was supposed to be Falcon and Winter Soldier first out the gate, but they decided to go with with this first, and the trailer was really, really interesting. So I can't wait for that. And although I haven't seen it yet because I had just seen something earlier, I believe the new trailer also for Mandalorian season 2 is out also. So
Well, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I've been excited for that. I mean, that's probably one of the best properties that Star Wars has put out in minutes. So I'm
Baby
excited.
Yoda.
That's so good. I think that was the most Star Wars. I think that was the most Star Wars thing ever in Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Like, it was the most, because like Star Wars was made to be these serialized like little shorts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like this was it. Every episode self-contained. It was like watching Knight Rider. He gets on a different adventure every week, like half an hour, and then you see all the different alien races are doing their thing. Like super good, man. Super good.
Yeah.
And it's cowboy, which makes it even better.
Yes.
Nice. All right, Sonia, what's your updates with you? Let's get into our episode. I think people are gonna want their coins soon.
Yeah, we were on the. Yeah, I know, right? We were actually on the topic of Marvel. I think Black Widow. They released. Sorry, they're releasing the movie not this year anymore. I think they're rescheduling it to next year, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to that. Yep.
But I mean, what I was saying
That's
earlier
my
would make
piece of
sense.
news.
How you mentioned Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it was easier for Disney to release this fantasy Wanda because like a Black Captain America show in these days climate. I don't know how that's gonna go down, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the cool thing about
that
comics,
too.
right? Comics have always been in the forefront of like hot political topics. So
Yeah.
it's like, what's up,
100%.
pizza therapy? Yeah. So like, it's kind of cool that like the Disney that. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how a Disney Marvel deals with hot topics. All right, but let's kick it off right now for our top 5 comics of all time, guys. Hey, Sally Kyle. Oh wait, we forgot to do the special update. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe we almost forgot, guys. If you guys do not know, tomorrow we are gonna have Nerd Expo. Shout out to Sally Kyle. Yes,
thank you, Sally.
Yeah, Kumu Nerd Expo is happening. Kumu Nerd Expo is happening tomorrow. We are going to be covering anime, games, toys, comics, art, cosplay. We got giveaways. We got performances. We got DJ Rocky Rock from the Black Eyed Peas throwing the after party. We got former Miss World Megan Young kicking off the ceremonies. We got gamer Sheila Snow. We got basically all the nerds of Kumu, and Sally got everybody together. Like we got Mika Abs doing the shoutcast. Dude, it's tight. We got a Tekken tournament going on. It's all happening on Kumu. So we're like super excited about it, guys. But yes, don't forget to check out starting at 12 p.m. tomorrow. It's gonna be all over. It's gonna be all over Kumu. So be sure to check it out starting at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Cool.
We are doing shows on that too. So
yeah, we are. Guys. Yeah, Usapan Retro will be on there as well. So guys, here we go. So this is what happens right now. We're gonna give away 25,000 coins. Right. We're gonna present our picks for top 5. Our topic today is comic book titles or whatever. Because we have our special guest Sigmund Torre, Canadian Pinoy comic book artist here in the house. So we're going to be talking about comic books. I guess who's going to be asking the question? It's Sonia. You're going to be asking the question, right?
Is it me?
So
I'm number 4.
No, Ron. Ron's asking the question, so he'll go last.
Am I?
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta read the sequence guides, bro.
I am.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
All right, I'll kick it off first. I'll kick it off first. All right.
Okay.
So my number 5, right? I picked my number 5. Actually, when I was a kid, it was probably my number 1. But this title got me into comics, and particularly this run was the one that got me into comic books. And I am gonna go, guys. Here we go. Please throw up your fire emojis because this was the fire back in the day. We're gonna go with the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont run of X-Men. So this title right here, especially these two, Jim Lee drawing and Chris Claremont writing, was what kicked off my love of comic books. When I was a kid, the images that Jim Lee was putting out there, the stories that Chris Claremont was telling. That was pretty much, man, that's how I fell in love with comics. So that is my pick for number 5, guys. Thank you for the fires, Jay Jericho. Thank you for the fires, Native B. Anything unknown, thank you for the fires, guys. Thank you for the fire emojis.
Hi, Native.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Nice.
Sonia, what's your pick for your number 5 favorite comic book title of all time?
Okay, so this was a pretty difficult list to make because I'm not a huge comic book collector. I do have my favorites. This was actually introduced to me in the 9th grade. I super love just like funny, humorous things, and my best friend gave me these like books, and like they were from Gary Larson, The Far Side. Absolute favorite. And I actually sent Angelo a few. Yeah, they're just like single panel comics that are just hilarious. And he has this weird obsession with cows. There it is. Oh, it doesn't show the thing, but it says the revolution has been postponed. there's a leak somewhere or something like that. Yeah. there's like a there's like
deer,
a imposter cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I
Really,
supposed to
really
show all of
good.
them right now?
Yeah, you can show all of them. There's another one
cool.
here. Moses
love
as a
those.
kid.
Wow.
He's separating his
Moses
milk.
as a kid for the water. Then what
And
else
then
you
the
got?
next one here. Oh yeah, this is like bedtime, Larry. Here's your blankie. And all these like scary animal print on it. Look at the bird's
I-
face.
I
Hilarious.
love it.
I think I saw that it's coming back. Actually, I think they're
Are
going
they
to be
making a
making.
comeback?
Yeah.
Farsight.
That would
I used to
be
love
amazing.
Farsight back in the
Ah,
day.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Far Side fan.
I had a
I-
T-shirt,
for-
man.
Super loved it.
I just
Yeah.
actually had
Super loved
shown
it.
Sonia in the group chat
Sally.
that pre-COVID, I was actually buying a lot of Far Side books because they're always at the thrift stores, and
Yeah.
not only that, probably one of my best finds was an actual, I think it's a 20-minute videotape of the Far Side, and it's a Halloween episode. So
Ah, cool.
the Far Side has been super influential, I think, on my humor and my messed up. He's messed up.
Yeah,
Gary
he's
Larson
pretty.
is really messed up. So I will say Far Side is definitely influential on my humor. Growing up as a kid, I read that, so I love that book.
All right.
Nice,
All right,
nice.
Sig, what is your pick for your fifth favorite comic book of all time?
I think my fifth favorite comic book all time was Kingdom Come from DC. I don't know if you guys.
Kingdom
this is it
Come.
right there.
Did you work
Fantastic.
on this?
No, man. That's all
really
Alex
like- I
Ross.
love-
I wish. But like Kingdom
No,
Come was amazing. Like it's a thick book. I mean, it was about 200 pages or so. And I remember when I first picked it up, I was going from Toronto to Chicago for the convention. I read it on the plane in like one shot. It was amazing, man. So it's basically about
My favorite.
like the superheroes, like the DC superheroes, Superman, Batman, all those guys. Like they're old already, and then there's a new generation of like kind of vigilante anti-heroes, and it's kind of like that whole 90s, early 2000s comics
Mhm.
thing. So it's kind of them fighting each other, see what's the better way, which is the better way, which is that. But fantastic, and then the art is fantastic. It's like if you look at Alex Ross's work, it's like, man, it's like everything's a painting. It's like literally everything's a painting. Everything looks real.
Wow.
Everything looks great. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Do you
Kingdom
know how
Come,
long it
must
took-
read, must read.
Yeah. How long did it take to make that? Do you know like any of the background? Because
No, no idea. What was? No, I don't know. I mean, it was 4 issues, so like however long that took, right? But what was trippy
Yeah.
about it? Because like when I was reading it, the main character in it is this like old preacher. So whatever, that's it. So I remember his face. And I was sitting in the convention, and I see this old guy walk up to the booth, and it was that guy. So like Alex Ross actually modeled him off his dad. So like,
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah.
A lot
It
of
was awesome.
a lot of the characters are actually referenced. Like
Oh, yeah.
the Superman, the Batman. Every person in those shots are modeled after his friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, that probably one of the greatest DC stories ever too.
Yeah, like I was never a big DC guy until I actually started work for them. But like then I got it. I got what was cool about it. But this one especially.
Yeah, like paychecks are cool about DC, right?
like,
Hey,
'cause I'd always been a Marvel
okay.
guy growing up, right? So like then I found the kind of
Yeah.
DC, as a kid I loved the Flash. My first toy was actually the Flash. But that aside, but like reading the comics, I kind of found it like hokey and too much out there in the nerd. But then
Wait,
when I started reading it, I realized it's like it's different. I mean, it's a different approach, right? Marvel shows you the real life problems of the guys, which is cool. But sometimes when I pick up a DC, I just want to see these superheroes do their thing, man. I just want to see gods be gods, right? So
yeah.
Wait, I gotta ask you a question. Have you ever done any work on Catwoman?
no, I only worked
For
once for DC. For DC, I only did one project for them, and it was a Raven miniseries. I did the colors for that.
Ah, okay. I think Sally would have flipped out if you worked on any of the Sally Kyle. Her name is Sally Kyle.
Yeah.
She did mention it earlier, Sig. I don't know if you saw the comments earlier, but she did mention it earlier that I think she said she was aware of your work and she gave
Oh, cool.
her a shout out.
Hey.
You know what's so funny, Sally? I always hang out with Sig when I go to Baraka, but we never talk about work. And he posted one day that his one of his works was on cover. And I was like, yes, works out like most. I totally forgot. Dude. All right, Ron, okay, now guys, we're gonna give away 5,000 coins right now. Ron, what is your pick for number 5, man?
Okay, if you could show that
I can't because you got it to me so late, so I didn't have any
gotcha.
time to upload any of the graphics.
well, I don't know if we can look it up right now, but it's actually a Marvel
I'll
title.
try looking it up.
And not only that, but First of all, Angelo, this is a hard list. I didn't know if I'm going off of titles. I didn't know if I was going to go off of certain arcs, like what you had said. Also regarding, say, how you said the X-Men Jim Lee run. But one of my favorite titles ever is The Nam.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
a Marvel.
Now.
It was a Marvel
yeah.
book back in the day that
I remember
just
that.
Yeah, I
Just
remember
told-
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
just told stories about the
Yes.
Vietnam War, and there was a lot
I
of
had
humor.
these.
Yeah. There was a lot
Wow.
of humor involved. There was a lot of language involved where you get to actually be in the war with these guys, and there was no superheroes involved. These are just regular soldiers that, would just tell their story.
Wait a minute, Punisher. That's
Yeah,
Punisher right there.
yeah.
Oh, that's tight,
That's
Frank
cool.
Castle. That's
Well,
dope, dude.
Now it was actually going to be, a little bit harder, Angelo, since you showed that. That was actually going to be my question. That was
All
actually
right,
going
cool. Guys, for 5,000 coins.
Damn.
All right, here you guys go. For 5,000 coins, guys. What is your question, Ron?
I was going to say, name one of the first superheroes to ever actually be introduced and deployed into the NAM. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
There we go.
So
What's up,
whoever's the
Retro?
first one, whoever's the first one to put
I'll
that
give you a
person in
hint.
that
I'll give you a
superhero's
hint
name,
right there.
I'll give you a hint.
It's a
You know
big
what I'm
hint. All you
saying?
gotta
It's
do is
a
type it in.
huge hint.
Oh, Native
Oh my
Bees.
God.
Oh.
No,
All right,
Native
Native
Bees
Bees.
gets mine.
Instead of-
Native Bee owes us 5,000 coins.
Now you owe us. Now you owe us.
Oh my
Guys,
god.
for 5,000 coins, type mo lang. Hindi, it says it right
Ant-Man.
there. Ayan, Ron,
You
ask
guys
your
are so
question
good.
again.
Yeah. Name one of the first superheroes to ever be introduced into the comic, the Nam. You know what I mean? I mean, the answer
Well, he's
is
not
right
really
there.
a superhero. He's just an angry
Not
guy.
really a superhero. But he did
These
serve.
Jays, everyone's
It's
gonna
all
get
anime.
this wrong.
He did serve during that
Really?
time. He did
Captain
serve during that-
America
Look
says
at
anything unknown.
look. It says the Nam, and then what does it say above the Nam? It says it right there. Ice
Come on,
cream.
guys.
Well,
Silly.
look where the mouse is pointing.
It's
Somebody
right
type-
there.
Oh, we'll
There you
take
go,
Jay
Jay.
Jericho. There you go. Jay
Okay.
Jericho. Oh, well,
Hold
Jay
up, Mark.
Jericho. Damn,
It
who
was
do we go with?
technically Frank Castle.
Who do you
It was
go with?
technically- It was technically
Okay,
Frank
well-
Castle or the
It is
Punisher?
Frank Castle. It is Frank
Okay.
Castle. There we
There you
go,
go,
guys.
Frank Castle.
We gave away the answer, but it was still.
No, we'll give it to you, Jay. You earned it because you wrote
Yeah.
it down. Thank you. Thank you so
All
much.
right, we'll give
But-
it to you. And then-
sorry
don't
about
worry,
that,
we
guys.
got 5 more. We got 5 more of these guys. So don't worry. Let's keep it. Move on to pick number 4, guys.
Jelly
Pick
is
number
ready.
4. Pick number 4.
number
Who wants
4.
to? Let's see. Who wants to kick it off? Who's asking the question? It's
I'm
gonna
asking
be,
the question, I think.
So you go last. Ron.
Yes.
Actually, Ron went last. So Sig, what is your pick for number 4? What is your favorite? What is your pick for
number
your fourth favorite?
4 was what did I choose? Oh, House of M. So like House of M from Marvel. Yeah, great.
Ooh.
So if you guys aren't familiar with the story, it's a fantastic story. It's like it's about Scarlet Witch basically, who it shows you how powerful she really is. Something happens and then she kind of wishes the world to be in a certain way and everything goes that way. But what's cool about it, it's like every hero gets pretty much what they wanted. You know what I mean? So like Captain America's a really old man. He's not a hero. He's just an old man living his life. Spider-Man's the most tragic. He has this kid. The world loves him. He's got a wife. And all that. So everything's going good for everyone except for Wolverine, who the thing that he really wants was his memories because he doesn't remember who he is. So he realized everything is wrong. So the best parts of it's like when he goes to these guys like Spider-Man, who has everything he's ever wanted, telling them, that's not right, man. We got to fix it. We got to fix it. It's like a very cool story, very good art. Very good. So that leads up to what you said earlier about WandaVision, because a lot of it is that the kind of not time jumping, but like scenario jumping, which I think that they're going to do a lot of in that TV show. So I think that a lot of that came from this book, right?
Nice.
So,
All right. Now
Wow.
you got me excited. Now you got me excited for WandaVision. I wasn't excited about that. Hey, Patrick, we finally put your coins in from the last 2 weeks because we had a hard time finding your name. Everyone kept misspelling it, but I hope you got your name. Or I hope you got your coins in. It should be there now.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Damn. Okay, I'm now really excited for WandaVision because I've been meaning to read House of M. I'm gonna go get that, and yeah, I need to go read that comic before it comes out.
You're good,
Sonia,
man.
what's
You're
your
good.
pick for number 4?
Number 4. Has everyone gone already?
This is
You're
I
asking the
was going
question.
first.
I'm asking the question.
You're asking the question? Oh crap! Then I'll go
Yes.
next, dude. My pick for number 4, actually is one of the books that got me back into comics because I stopped reading for a while. But then I saw this thing called Avatar: The Last Airbender, and
Oh.
and then I found out that the story continues. If you like the cartoon, guys, please pick up the Avatar: The Last Airbender comic books. Look at Aang. He's a Dalaga now, right?
Oh.
Like
Oh my
Aang,
God.
he's all buff now. He like
Yeah,
Aang, like
what?
yeah. Yeah, this carries on the story.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the search. There we go. Patrick knows what's up. Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, it carries on the story. It basically ties it in from the Last Airbender all the way to Korra. Yeah, it's really good. It's like the stories are just as good as the actual animation or the actual cartoon series. So I would suggest it if you guys haven't picked up a comic book in a while and you're a fan of Avatar, definitely get the Avatar comic books. They're amazing.
I'm definitely going to be picking that up next because I just finished it, so I really miss them. So I'm definitely going to be picking that up. Yes,
All right,
awesome.
Ron.
That's a really good choice.
Ron, what's your pick for number 4?
My pick for number 4, I was gonna say, people know me for being a Marvel guy and all that stuff, but I really love this book when it first came out, and it's one of my favorite DC runs ever. This is Justice League International. This is when Kevin Maguire and them were doing this book, and this is an '80s book, and it was one of the first times to ever see the inner workings of superheroes from a funny perspective. I think I was always, growing up, that very first one right there, oh my God. I mean, that entire run there, if you want to talk about the dynamics of and chemistry of a team and how to get along with their egos and all this stuff. People always ask me too, who is my favorite Green Lantern? Because of that first, because of this run, Guy Gardner is one of my favorite Green Lanterns. He's such an a-hole, and he has just no disregard also for, authority and all that stuff. So the way that him and Batman clash heads, which led to a very special, I forget what issue that is, but I mean, I have it here somewhere where, he decides to go against Batman's authority, and all it took was one punch, where Batman just gave it to him, in the nose. It was a straight punch, and knocked out Guy Gardner for a good amount of time. So I mean, just that type of humor, type of humor is something that I really liked. I mean, they had things where they had to build a house, so instead, Guy was like, "Yo, let me build you a house made out of Green Lantern." Nails and all that stuff, and they're all partying and stuff, not knowing it's like, that stuff disappears after a while. So just humor and stuff like that. It also made me like the animated series a little bit more too, because I could see a lot of the influences of the these are the C-list, D-list, sometimes characters of DC that get to interact with the big folk, the big names. So if this is Usapan Retro, so I'm always bringing out the retro, runs and
this is
hits.
great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I want to read, especially DC, because like DC in like the mid '80s, the mid 80s to like the early 90s. Like when I was really into comic books, like I was not a DC kid, right? I was like Marvel, Image, some Valiant, right? So like I missed a lot of these great stories, right? So like I like hearing I like catching up to the DC stuff because these are all new to me, and I've been watching all the DC animated movies, and like it's really good to read the comic book. So I always appreciate Ron's shout outs.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
Thank you.
Let's go, Sonia. What is your number 4 pick? I can see your questions already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my number 4 pick. Okay, so this would have been much higher on the list, but actually, as the years went by, I got to know this character a little bit more, and I'm like, this guy is messed up. So yeah, and I super love just like the character design and like I'm a fan of the anti-hero, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with Lobo at number 4. Lobo is my number
Yeah.
Well done.
4. Yeah, he just looks so like he looks like a member of Kiss, but like super on steroids. You know what I mean? And like,
One of the
yeah, he's
baddest
got
to
like
ever do it. Hell
super
yeah.
strength. Yeah, and
Hell
like
yeah.
he's got like super healing powers, like way faster than Deadpool. He's got a soft spot for dolphins, for space dolphins.
Yes.
And like, yeah, super cool dude. I actually had a comic,
That issue right there.
a
Yep,
book.
number 1.
Yeah, I had a book, and yep. And he actually, you know, the guy who, that guy from, what do you call this? From Everybody Loves Raymond, his brother, the big guy. What's his name? He actually was the
Dude,
voice.
Lobo's fought everybody. Oh my gosh. He
Yeah.
fought Wolverine.
Yeah.
He fought Wolverine and
Superman.
Superman. What?
In Justice League, the animated series, they actually have like a little, yeah. And the guy who voiced him,
Who's this
what was
Lobo,
his
dude?
name?
Who's that Lobo?
What
That
is
Lobo look bootleg.
I've never seen that before.
Guys, bear with me. I'm just gonna move location. It's starting to rain,
no
so I'm gonna move in a bit.
Yeah.
All right,
And
cool.
I've
No
been
worries.
waiting. Honestly, I've been waiting for a live action film for years. Apparently they're in development hell right now.
Yep.
And apparently it's supposed to be Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, playing Lobo. So that's gonna be really cool if that's like a real
But he
thing.
looks more like
No,
he
he's
looks more
Black
like
Adam.
Aquaman.
He's Black Adam already, man.
He's Black Adam,
He's
right?
Black
That's
Adam
right.
already.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Hi,
It's more like
Siege. Hello.
looks more like Aquaman.
That's true. He does
What's
look
your
like an
question
Aquaman.
for 5,000 coins? Ano po,
All right.
Sanya, ano po yung question mo for 5,000 coins?
All right, so we're just kind of warming up with the question. So this is pretty easy. I just mentioned it earlier. So Lobo has a favorite animal. What is it?
Okay,
5,000
Sanya's
coins,
question.
guys.
For 5,000 coins.
There you go.
It is Space Dolphins.
Anonymous. There you go,
Anonymous.
Anonymous. Space dolphins. You got it. Yeah.
Patrick
There's another
saying
view, guys.
Emmett
Just to let you see.
Scallon. Jeez, dude.
Very
Okay,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah,
we
I
can't
forgot to
concentrate.
mention that this guy is so badass that even like he gets rejected. He gets booted out of heaven and hell. Like nobody wants him. You know what I mean? So yeah, another reason why I like this guy. And yeah, number 4. That's Lobo. Congratulations to Anonymous.
Nice.
You got 5,000 coins.
Cool. So that
Nice.
brings us up to snap. Are we already at selection number 3? We're at
Right?
selection number 3 already, right?
Oh, the
Yeah.
nitty-gritty.
Right.
Rod's gonna ask the
Wait,
question.
Angela, what was
so-
your 4? What was your 4? I forgot already. What was your 4?
Did I said
No,
my
you
4,
didn't,
right?
man. No, you gave
Oh,
us
man.
X-Men. I don't-
Was
No,
it?
my number 4. I gave
Was
you my number
Avatar.
4.
Oh,
Avatar.
Avatar. You're right. Sorry,
Avatar, yeah.
Yeah, Avatar. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, cool. Yeah, X-Men was
Avatar.
my number 5. And my number 4 was
5,
the
yeah,
Avatar comic. Yeah.
Okay,
All
bye,
right, cool.
Sally. We'll see you later.
Bye,
Yeah,
Sally.
let's
Thank
see Sally.
you. So Ron's gonna be going with the question. He'll go last. Sig, what
Mm-hmm.
is your number 3 favorite comic of all time? Why don't you kick it off,
Number
man?
3. My number 3 is a big surprise. It's something that I grew up reading and loving with my brothers. Archie comics, man.
Yeah.
Make sure you read this one.
Awesome.
Read that cover too. Make sure you guys read it out. Read it out loud.
Archie, did you have any trouble rescuing me? I sure did, Betty. I had
Hey,
to
Mochi.
beat off these other guys. Oh!
I love it.
No, but like, but that aside, nah, man. Like our bathroom was full of Archie comics, so like I used to read that
Did you beat
all
off-
the time.
Did you beat off Archie comics in the bathroom?
No,
Oh my God! So
Yeah,
who
that
were
big
you?
moose,
Who were
man.
you for? Were you Betty or Veronica?
why do you have to choose, man? Archie did it.
That's true.
That's a great answer. I love
That's a
it.
pretty
Yeah.
good answer. I was not expecting that.
I don't know. I was more of a Veronica fan. I thought Betty's a Karen, dude. What are you talking about?
Karen.
Betty's a future Karen. I can totally see her
She's
being.
not. You take
Oh,
that,
man.
Angela. How dare you? How dare you? Oh my God. She's not a
I don't know.
Karen. I actually thought Veronica was more of the Karen.
There's a
Archie,
what?
man. Great.
Anonymous says there's a Filipino houseboy in Archie. His name
No,
is
really?
Charlie. Oh, let me go look this up. Hold on.
No, we have
Archie
to.
Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta see this. Archie. Hold on. Archie Comics Filipino.
Charlie Yin, really?
I want to see this, dude. This is gonna be crazy.
Probably
If
though.
this-
I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Archie's a big presence here. I think last year there was some Archie
Oh
variant
my
covers.
gosh!
What?
Oh my
No
gosh!
way. You're kidding.
Yeah. No.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Somebody actually made like a. Oh.
Ah,
Houseboy named
horrible.
Charlie Ying is the first and only Filipino character to ever appear on
What?
What? I don't know how I feel about
Okay.
Archie anymore now, but I do
Yeah.
like
Why?
Archie. When they went-
Okay. What's the problem with that?
He's the houseboy.
There are not.
yo,
So there are no Filipino houseboys. There's no such thing as Filipino houseboys.
Yeah. I mean,
There's no such thing as Filipino houseboys. That's representation, man.
That's
Not an Archie.
That's a good
I
point.
can't-
That's a
but-
good
I'm
point.
not gonna.
But I do like that Archie and them did go to the Rizal monument.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Did you know about this one? That was pretty cool. I did like that one.
There's
But,
a few of them actually. I think the artist did a few of them. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super rad. That's dope. Okay, so
That's really cool.
Archie's
But
are good,
this-
man. Classic, timeless. You can the ones from the
Mhm.
50s are still as funny as the
but
ones
this
that
one,
come up.
yeah,
crazy.
this one I
Yes.
did not know
That's
about.
super
That's
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
I did not know about
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know
that. Hey,
that. too.
Pambahira, welcome.
Yeah.
What's up? Okay.
Hi.
Let's go to
Hi,
the Sonia.
Masahira. Yes.
Sonia, what is your pick for number 3?
My pick for number 3, oh goodness. Okay, this is coming from childhood. Super, super loved this character because, he had a wild, wild, wild imagination, something that I can definitely relate to. I think everybody loved this comic. Calvin and Hobbes is coming in at
Oh,
number
yeah.
3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
number 3, Calvin and Hobbes. He was my ultimate favorite. I loved it. Bill Watterson, right? That's his name of
Yeah,
yeah. I actually didn't know this. He was actually more of a political cartoonist way back before he started Calvin and Hobbes, and yeah, super awesome. I loved him. And there's a debate whether Hobbes is imaginary or not. Some are saying he's actually not, and some are saying he is. So I don't know. I always thought he was. I always thought he was, but I think somebody was explaining that just because he wasn't seen by the parents does not necessarily mean he's imaginary. Is he like Snuffleupagus though? I don't know. And then it's cute that he would always bully his neighbor, Susie. He had a neighbor, Susie would always bully, but he had a little crush on her. Kids.
That's good. I was actually thinking of putting that on my list as well. Good book.
that was going to go on my
Yeah,
list.
I
but-
actually have
It
one of those
inspired me
books
to
lying
start
around.
drawing
too.
as well.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, the art's fantastic. The art is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I actually made my own little comic. I forget the name of the character, but the animal character that I made, it was kind of the same concept, a little girl with her like dog, stuffed toy that comes to life, and it was
Does
like
this guy exist?
something
Does this guy
and
exist?
Titch. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh no, so cute.
Wow. That's a pretty cat. Really pretty.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my.
Sorry.
Out of nowhere now. All right, I'm gonna go with my number 3 pick. My number 3 pick actually just got picked up by Netflix, and they started a really good series out of it. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lock and Key, but Lock and Key originally started out as a comic book with
I remember.
IDW. I've never even heard of IDW until Lock and Key. And then it's written by Jonah Hill. He's the son of Stephen King. And it's a really, really cool, it's a really cool, it kind of reminds me of one of those 80s adventure stories where it's it's set in the 80s actually. So it's it's set in the 80s and in modern times. So it goes between generations, but it's just these kids. It's kind of a little bit of Goonies, and it's a little bit of horror. A lot of fantasy. It's really, really cool. There's this house, there's these keys, and then these keys open doors to certain things. Like you could go into people's heads. You could turn into, if you get the right key, you could turn into a ghost. You could, if you have the right key, you could turn, you could go anywhere. And all these different keys do these different things. And it's a really, really cool story. Yeah. So Lock and Key is my number 3 pick, and I'm reading I'm naming off the ones I actually read like every other year or so. So this came out a few years, and I still like rereading it. So it's
how's the show?
It's a pretty good one. The
I
show's
like
not
it.
bad.
I saw the first episode. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the show is not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. Like I mean the comic.
I'm looking for
books is the
something
comic
new, man.
books.
Yeah. I'm looking for
Pick up the
something
books
next.
if you want to. Yeah, it's a good books. The books are really good. Pero the comic books are. I mean, the Netflix series is not bad at all, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ron. For
Wait.
5,000 coins, Ron, what is your pick for number 3?
All right, guys. I actually went independent on this actual pick. This is not a Marvel title. This is not a DC title. This is a title just on its own. I forget what brand it was on when it first came out, but I am going with The Crow by James O'Barr. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. The thing about this actual comic book, though, was it was born out of tragedy. He started he did this book basically when his wife, James O'Barr, his wife was killed by a drunk driver. So his therapy was putting all his work into The Crow. And that first picture you have actually highlighted, that exact graphic novel right there, that is one that I highly recommend anybody to pick up. It is one of the most hurtful, tragic, stories. And you get to see one person's, he's a self-taught artist also. So you see from the first issue all the way until the end of the arc, the how he got better as an artist, but also the story of The Crow. The movie, which is I'm a huge fan of also, at the time they could not make the movie faithful to the actual comic book. Something about the book also was just so I'm a big fan of Joy Division, The Cure. So a lot of those songs he implemented into, that's probably all he was listening to when he was doing this book. You know what I mean?
So happy tunes, eh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, right? So, just to be able to relate to somebody like that, maybe on a music side, but I love the character and all that stuff, but and I also got to meet him at one of the cons too, and I got one of my statues by him signed. But
That's cool.
For me to tell him thank you for your character is almost a double-edged sword, because I'm pretty sure he would have, just to have his wife back, he probably would have never came up with a Crow anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it kind of hurts when you're like, yo, thank you for your story and all this stuff. But, this story was born out of this person losing, his best friend, his love in his life. So it's tragic. And, the movie, The Crow, there was a whole tragedy behind that too, with Brandon Lee and all that stuff too. So this book is very, very personal, to me, just because it was one of the first comic books outside of Marvel and DC that I've ever a friend of mine showed it in the 4th grade to me. I believe issue number 4, he showed it to me and he was like, "Oh, you're messing with Marvel and DC. Let me show you a real comic book." And we're like in 4th grade or whatever that is. And that just kind of blows your mind. It just kind of blows your mind of like, wow, there's stuff like this that's out there. And so number 3, I'm gonna go with The Crow.
All right, what's your question for 5,000 coins, guys? Here you go. Get your phalanges ready.
Yo, for
Phalanges.
5,000 coins, all I want to know is please name the original character, The Crow's name. That's all we want to know. His first and last name. And I saw somebody wrote the actor's name there earlier, but what is okay, but first and last name? First and last name, hurry.
Lava, you got this. You got
there
this.
We go. There we go.
There it is.
Jay's like, I can't say it. There you go.
All
right,
there
Lava.
you guys go.
That's 2 weeks in a row, Lava. Woo! Or 3.
Don't pick up that book, guys.
And then,
Don't
Dark,
pick up that book.
yeah, everyone came in like really late though. Darkseid came in late. Anything Unknown came in late. What's up, Jarek?
Yeah.
How's it going? All right. Hey, shout
Hi,
out
Jarek.
to Lava. Lava knows things, and that's why Lava got 5,000 coins, guys.
Lava knows
Here we go. Now, here we go. The top two, guys. I'm going last, so I'm gonna be asking the questions. So I'm gonna be going last. Who wants to kick it off for the number 2 pick?
Ooh,
Ron?
Number two.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Who wants to kick it off? Sonia, kick it off.
Anybody?
Ron.
All right.
Oh, we
Sonia,
always number 2 always belongs to Sonia because she's the first lady of Usapan Retro. Remember? We gotta keep with that theme. We gotta keep with that theme. Go ahead, Sonia.
Go,
All
Sonia.
right,
What
cool.
is your
So
pick for number 2?
This actually would have been my number 1, but my number 1 will always be my number 1, and you will see why later on. But this one actually heavily influenced my sort of DJ character, Ninja, in terms of fashion, and I guess in terms of attitude. This girl is so punk rock. I'm gonna give it to Tank Girl, number 2. Tank Girl at number 2.
Tank Girl.
She's like my
Independent Bug,
absolute
yup.
favorite. I love her. Yeah.
Okay,
She's really
gotcha.
Who's
cool.
the girl? The girl that played her in the movie.
I forget, but I actually, you know what? A lot of people didn't like the movie. I did. I guess I'm super biased. Didn't get a lot of good ratings, but I think it was kind of like a cult favorite. Or am I
did like
imagining
it.
things? I liked it. I thought it was cool. Yeah, and
It was
she's
cool,
super
yeah.
cool.
Definitely a cult title
Yeah.
for sure, though. Tank Girl.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but you know,
Cult
like
title
the
for
creator of that, what else he created, right?
Yes, gorillas.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Right? Jamie,
Yeah.
Jamie, what's his name? I wrote
Hewlett.
it down. Jamie
Hewlett.
Hewlett. Yeah. He also is the
That's-
creator of Gorillas. I just love the cover, like the art. The artwork is so amazing, and like
especially
and
the old stuff
her
was
boyfriend
crazy.
is a kangaroo mutant. His name is Booga.
Yeah, kangaroo. Yeah.
It's
That
in
was-
a very
I think that's what
dystopian
made the movie
future.
weird. That's what made the
Yeah.
movie weird.
Yeah, right.
Her
Ice-T,
boyfriend made
one
the
of them. I
movie
think
weird.
Ice-T was one of
He
those.
was
man.
in it. Ice-T was in it as well. Like, yeah, super
Yeah.
awesome. Like this girl, she just lives in a tank and she just like wreaks havoc. But I actually liked this series. I haven't really finished it because this was gifted to me from an ex-boyfriend. He actually gave me a whole bunch. But this one, I just love Rufus Daglow's art the most. Like, I really, really love his artwork. And this story, she joins this super sort of violent race just to help her best friend Barney, what do you call it, raise funds because Barney was in the hospital. And I thought that was really sweet. So yeah, number 2, Tank Girl. And they're actually going to be making a movie. I believe they're going to be making a movie. I feel like she's it's weird because we already have Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn, but I feel like Margot Robbie would kill it as Tank Girl. Basically, almost the same character.
That's a
really.
good pick. That's
But,
actually
yeah.
a good
I
pick.
mean, I think she's
That's a
actually.
That's a good insight.
Yeah.
That's a good insight. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, but they are pretty
so
similar.
They're very similar, and that would be really great if they actually did like I don't know if that would ever happen, but
Tank
sort
Girl
of like a
versus Harley
cross-
Quinn. That'd be dope.
right? That would be super awesome. I would love to see that. Super love to see
All right.
that.
All right, Sig, what's your pick for number 3, man? What's your third? Number 2. What's your pick for number 2?
Number 2.
What's
My
your
number
number
2
two favorite
is
comic time?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen by Alan Moore. It's fantastic.
Whoa.
Another fantastic book. So,
I like Alan Moore.
I don't know if people are familiar with it, but like it takes literary characters and makes their Justice League out of it or their Avengers out of it, right? So it's like old novel doesn't like.
Is that it? No,
novels,
that's not it.
No, it's the other one.
I can't. Oh no,
so
I
there's,
mislabeled these. I mislabeled them. But I got the real one
so
here.
it's that one, right there.
There you go.
Right there. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So it's like characters like who's that? Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is one of the heroes, and then there's the Invisible Man, who's sort of the hero, Captain Nemo, and then like their leader is Mina from Dracula. It's really good, like really good. Art is fantastic.
All right.
Again, super good.
I got this
They made
from
didn't they
Ron's
make a
favorite
movie?
spot.
No, they didn't make a movie. No, they
Didn't
didn't
it?
make a
From
movie.
Ron's
Okay.
favorite spot.
That doesn't count.
Goodwill.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Okay.
Awesome.
That doesn't count. Okay. Got it. We will not
I mean,
mention
like
that
this
ever
book. This
again.
book is like super. If you look at it in like you compare to other comic, it's super prestigious. Like it's so well written. The plots are good. The art is amazing.
Mhm.
And for what they did with that movie, it doesn't count, man. That doesn't count.
It was an injustice.
Like an insult, really.
Yeah.
Oh
an
my god!
insult,
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't
it's one of
count.
those. Okay.
Yeah. So if anyone wants
Let's
a
not
good,
talk
fun
about
Yeah,
the
book,
movie.
I think that movie that movie signaled like the downhill of Sean Connery's career.
no, yeah, it made him retire. Man.
Oh, no.
Making movies.
Yeah. That movie made him retire.
Facts,
Yeah,
dude.
straight up.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
like, I give up. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
that
mean-
was a terrible impersonation.
That was actually pretty good.
I don't know.
It was pretty decent.
No, if anyone hasn't read that yet, give it a read. It's so good. Really
I
fun.
actually haven't
really
read it yet, but I got it here. I'm gonna
Good,
give it
man.
a
Read it. Read
Nice.
it. Lucky you.
Yeah.
You get to read it now, man. I'm jealous of
Yeah.
Nah.
you.
All right.
And actually
Ron,
turn
what's your-
pages too. Yeah.
Ron, what's
Yeah,
your
it's
pick
so
for number
good.
two,
It's so
man?
Oh man.
Ron, what's your number two favorite comic book of all time, dude?
My number two favorite comic book of all time is actually Wolverine. Number one, Frank Miller. This is a Frank
Wait,
Miller
1 second.
run.
Sorry, 1 second. Icon and Bots. Okay, we're gonna interrupt. We're gonna interrupt Ron because you wanted a shout out. You said it 3 times. So Icon, you get a shout out.
There you go.
Shout out Icon.
Nice.
Keep going, Ron. My
Shout
bad,
out
dude.
Icon. No, I was gonna say Wolverine by Frank Miller. That was my
Ooh.
second favorite comic book of all time. This was kind of hard. I almost went with another story, but this was just so iconic to me. Just that first cover of that cover alone.
Oh
just
man,
Wow.
I have it, dude.
Crazy.
I should have.
You
I have
do?
it.
I have the
Yeah.
I had the original also. It was one of my first. If you could believe, it was a comic book that was handed down to me from my cousin, and I know that that's one of those things that he's regretted since he. You know what I mean? It was one of those comic books where like me and my cousin were really really close, and that entire run made me I read that when I was like probably. This is like if that came out maybe 83 or I forget when that came out. I probably read that when I was like 8. So I've been reading comics by that time for about 4 years. My first comic book was like 84. I was about 4 years old. So I got to read this when I started
That looks
understanding.
like your cousin right now, huh? After he gave you the comic, let's tell a wow.
Yeah,
Let's tell a
he's
Wawa.
a Wawa right there. Yeah, and
He's Wawa Logan.
Wow, okay.
I loved how his style was just so simple, back then. And then, right after this, well, it's a little, I mean, just that page alone right there. I never got to see Frank Miller do such detailed stuff, like where he chops off the bear's arm and all that stuff. And I had to grow up not knowing who Wolverine is. So I've been with him on this entire journey from print of finding who this character is. So nowadays, people just watch a movie and they think they know who Wolverine is. So, but for me to
now, man, Wolverine's 5'2".
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't know that. People don't know he's 5'2". That
Okay,
this
what
guy
was the difference between this one and Origin? Like, did you like Origin or this one more?
Oh, I did like Origin. This one
I
you
like
did.
I like the
too.
first 4 issues of Origin.
I liked
First 4
Origin,
issues were
yeah.
good.
I did like Origin, but this here is just
More adult.
yeah, and not only that, but I'm one of those guys that like Jean Grey never had nothing to do with anything with Wolverine. It was Mariko who was the love interest in this run where like he's always been or she's always been the love of his life. You know what I mean? From a kid's perspective, from somebody like a reader like me. So I had only known of one person to be in Wolverine's heart or whatever. So to show him being that samurai, show him like being just out there on his own, he decided to leave the X-Men to go get married. So this was a time in his life where he wanted to be his own man and stuff. So a great book, and it also led into other things which my second choice could have been something else, which was also Frank Miller related. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a god. He's a god of comics for sure.
Yes, so like this to me was, I mean, especially that Wolverine #1, for it to be one of my first maybe 4 or 5 like first comics that I actually really meant something to me. You know what I mean? To have that first issue. you know, and an original issue too. It wasn't like a second print or anything. It was an actual issue. So one of the first things that probably I'd like to have a graded one if I ever win the lottery sometime, like a graded one, just on my wall, because probably one of my favorite books of all time.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna get my number 2. Actually, is the craziest shit I've ever read in my life.
Okay.
We can say shit. All right.
You can say shit. Yeah.
All right.
So,
All right.
Okay, this comic book was like, okay. So this was like this came out like right after like the whole hype of like when everybody left comics, right? So there was this whole big hype of like the X-Men, and then like like there was that big hype with like Rob Liefeld and like all the whole Image gang, right? That started. People were selling millions and millions of comic books, right? And there's this big bubble, right? And then it burst, and then all these people left comics, right? But this title kind of came out right when that was happening, so a lot of people missed out on this, and it was the craziest shit I've ever read. They made a horrible TV adaptation of it, but it's a title called Preacher.
Yup.
Okay.
Oh.
Preacher.
I'll put that up there too. I'll put that in my top
Preacher.
3. Also,
Wow.
great.
Whoa.
You guys don't
That's some
understand
crazy
how,
art.
Yeah. So Preacher, right? So the thing about Preacher, right? It's basically here. Thank you for the J. Jericho. Thank you for the fire. So Preacher, right? Is this
Shout out to
preacher,
Garth Ennis.
right?
Oh yeah.
And so basically, God has abandoned. God has disappeared, right? And the preacher, it has the power. His power is the voice of God, and he's looking for God to make God answer for his sins. It's the craziest story. It's the craziest story. I'm not talking about his best friend's a vampire. His girlfriend / ex-girlfriend is an assassin. There's Nazis in here. What else, man? What else is going on?
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds chaotic. I like it already.
Yeah, there's cherubs, there's
name.
angels, there's demons.
There's
Yeah.
cherubs.
Wait.
Yes. Lobo.
That's gonna be my questions. Okay. Now my question, guys, for 5,000 coins, okay? It's kind of tragic, but it's kind of weird how Preacher dealt with it. But okay, so Kurt Cobain killed himself, right? He had a suicide, right? And one of the characters who is one of Preacher's main enemies, but becomes one of his best friends, tried to kill himself as well. And what is that character's name, guys?
Oh man.
What is the name of the character?
Ron.
There we go. Pachi Maxi. Arseface, guys.
I almost ruined it because I didn't know where you were gonna go earlier, so I almost chimed in with there's a character name, but good thing
Arseface, right? Yeah. So Arseface was like so when Kurt Cobain killed himself, Arseface was really affected by it, right? And he was trying to kill himself, so he tried to shoot himself with a shotgun, but he actually he messed up a shot off his mouth, and then it came out looking like a butt. And that's why.
Can you show that? Can you show his picture?
Yeah, I want to see.
I thought I was showing it. Hold on, here it is. Arseface. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So that's art. So yeah, basically his mouth looks like a butt, and so that's why he has the name Arseface. But yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that's just to show you how crazy this book is. Yeah, this book. There he is, like, here's my dude right here. He's one of the most memorable characters. But yeah.
Wait,
but guys,
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also a Cyclops. It's a super. Oh yeah, and then there's also a ghost cowboy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really. You know what it reminds me of? I think this is kind of like what Dark Tower could have been, but not as cool. Like this is like the cool version of Dark Tower, I think. But yeah, you guys should go check it out. Preacher, crazy
Who
story.
wrote that? Steve Dillon. Who did that? Steve
Dillon and Garth Ennis. Yeah,
Garth Ennis
also
crazy.
Yeah. Garth Ennis.
They have a great Punisher run. Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon have a great
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite run of Punisher was Garth Ennis. The movie was actually pretty good. The last Punisher movie was based on the Garth Ennis run. But yeah, if you guys know anything about Garth Ennis, super crazy. All right, guys, here we go. Number one pick, Sigmund. Sig's going to be asking the question, so you're going last.
Okay.
Well, First Lady of Retro, Sonia, what is your number one pick for your number one
Okay.
comic book of all time.
Before I start with my number one, I just wanted to say that Sig, I saw that you did some artwork with what do you call this, Tank Girl, and I absolutely love it. I completely forgot to mention that. Super loved it.
I
Thank
did?
you for that. Yeah, you did, didn't you?
I don't think so. I don't.
Are
Maybe.
you sure?
I don't remember.
Oh, I'm gonna have to like look at your
maybe.
Instagram
Maybe I did
again.
a sketch for. Maybe I did a sketch for someone, but no, I don't think.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's a
did.
color.
Okay, yeah, I
You
did. I did.
Yeah.
I
Oh my
colored.
god,
Yeah,
I had
yeah,
a
yeah.
heart attack. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. A buddy of mine, Joe. Yeah. It
yes.
was like a collaboration I did during the quarantine. Yeah. That's right.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
super cool. Anyways, yeah, that's anyway, that out of the way. Number one. Okay, so this has already been mentioned, but this was actually my introduction to comic books like ever. I remember I was really, I must have been like 10 or 11. My neighbor, we had Swedish neighbors. We were living in Singapore, and they had this like teenage girl. She was our neighbor. Never really spoke to her. You know, we were different in age and everything. But one time I did catch her leaving a box of something outside of the apartment. You know, she's throwing it out, and I got curious because the context looked kind of interesting. So I looked into the box, and I was like, there was just all these comic books, and they were Archie books. They were Archie comic books, and that is my number one. Definitely a lot of good memories on there. We actually had other titles like Sabrina from that that universe or whatever. And you also had Josie and the Pussycats. You had what do you call it? I think Cherry
Jughead
Blossom.
and the Beat-Offs.
Jughead and the Beat-Offs. Yeah, super cool. I loved Betty and Veronica. Betty was my favorite because she was, she was your girl next door. I loved Veronica because she was so glamorous. What do you call this? I thought it was super cool. Mega Magazine did have Betty and Veronica on the cover. I don't know if you want to Google that. Mega Magazine. One of my favorite covers. I'm trying to get. I had one. I had a copy. There you go. They're wearing Carrie Santiago. I thought that was super iconic, super cool that they did that. Yeah, there you go.
What about
Betty
Mega
and
Man?
Veronica.
What about that?
Yeah, so they're definitely my number one. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Thank you to the Swedish neighbor for introducing
Nice
me
pick,
to that.
nice pick.
Yeah, number
Yeah,
one.
I mean that's pretty much.
I've
That's
never
how
watched
I get my
Riverdale.
comics.
From someone who.
Oh, Riverdale's
For
way.
me, someone who.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm
So it's like
sorry.
that's why I don't
hated
want to
it.
watch it. It's like I don't want to watch
I
it because like I'm.
It was like
Okay, good.
You
You
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
get
get
reminded me
mad.
of like
I
I'm not
hated
gonna
it. I
start.
was excited. I was really excited. I
Let's
was
get
like,
retro.
yay!
It's
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek invades
So,
Archie.
Dawson's Creek.
okay.
I
So
did
I am
like
not
the
gonna even
Netflix
start.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, though. They did a great job on that. Way
Yeah.
different from Riverdale. But yeah, I did not like Riverdale. I was super disappointed with that. It was just too like Gossip Girl, like I actually liked Gossip Girl, I'm not gonna lie, but I was expecting, I wanted to see Archie as Archie and all the characters like just come to life, not in that like super I don't know.
I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out?
No, you're good.
No,
Not
you're good.
really.
You're
No,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So
I worked on Gossip Girl. Just by the way, just letting you know.
You did?
No
Yeah.
way.
Long time ago. Yeah, it was really funny. I'll save it. It's a funny story. I'll say I didn't know it was going to be a big show, but it was really funny. All right,
Wow,
Ron.
I actually like that show.
Ron, what is your number one pick for your number one comic of all time?
All right. Kind of a first of all, this is hard. If you were to ask me this on another day, I'd probably give you a different answer. You know what I mean? But this one is pretty constant in my life, and this is actually the '80s run of the Uncanny X-Men. And I'm talking about
Same as me.
Nice.
We're talking about the early issues where it's just like Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr. Doing the artwork. This is during the time where Storm had the mohawk. Wolverine was still in the brown and yellow suit. Oh my God! Right there.
Brown and let me see. Wait. Let me pull this one. This is the one right here. That's the one.
Days of Future Past. There's just so many great runs.
This one right here.
When they were in Australia was great, man.
Yeah.
There's just so much good. I mean, when Jim Lee, of course, when Jim Lee came, that it kind of set the standard for what you know
There
the
you go.
potential and what it could be. But just the stuff right before those guys started getting hot, I'm talking about guys like Art Adams, who I love, John Romita Jr., who I love, Paul Smith,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Barry Windsor.
I still have
Smith.
his annuals actually.
Yes, Barry Windsor Smith. These guys put out dope X-Men stories that, I mean, right there. That also with the X, I think that might be that's a Mark
That one,
Sophistry one. That covers crazy.
Yeah, it was like starting like in the 230s. I remember like it was just like starting to change up. Like,
you had even showed episode or issues from like say 202 was one of my favorites.
Mark Silvestri.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff from. I mean, right there, the whole Cyclops versus Storm for leadership of the X-Men, and Storm didn't even have any powers during that time, and for her to, sorry, spoiler alert, for her to take control of the X-Men and, basically sending Scott and the rest of the original X-Men to go and start X Factor, it's just such a great time in comic books. I mean, like I said, I started reading comic books in '84. I was born in 1980. I started reading comic books in '84. So a lot of words, a lot of things I learned were from comic books, straight up. I believe that's why I've always excelled in, my classes or whatever, because I was constantly reading comic books just all the time. So that '80s run right before Jim Lee, probably my favorite time, like just to see Art Adams stuff and the Barry Windsor Smith stuff. That's I hold that super near and dear to my heart also.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
All right. I'm gonna go with my number one. Oh no, we lost Sig. Hold on.
I'm back.
He's back.
Okay. I'm gonna go with my number one pick. I don't know if they turned this into a TV show or anything, but like that. But this was actually a really cool story. I just read it again recently. I'm gonna go with like that right there. I'm gonna go with this guy with why the last man.
Yeah.
Super good.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like
Why
that.
the last man? Yeah, I read the entire series again recently. It still holds up, man. Like, I think this is one of those things where if I want something to read and I don't know what to read, I could always pick up a copy of Why the Last Man and just read it. And it's like every time I reread it, like same as Preacher, every time I reread them, I always find something new and something cool. Like, it's one of those things that. Yeah, like Brian K. Vaughan, like he has a new one, Saga. But Brian K. Vaughan just is such a great writer.
People's number ones too. Saga is up there.
Yeah.
Why has the most natural dialogue I've ever read in a comic book?
Really? Yeah. The story's just like, so
the way
cool.
they talk. The way they talk, it's like you can really hear them. Like this dude's just talking to you. Like it's super good.
Yeah, like Yorick's tight, dude. Him and his monkey. It's just a dope story, dude. But it's
what
so
would
cool.
you do if you woke up and you were the last man on Earth? Like, what would you do? What would the first thing you do be?
If I was,
pee.
If I was the last man
I would go pee when I wake up. I would go pee.
All right, Sig. Let's kick it off right now. Sig, what is your pick for number one?
My number one comic is not Marvel DC. It's not even an American one, man. My number one comic is Vagabond. It's a Japanese comic book by Takehiko Inoue. He, for me, hands down, he's the best comic book guy, artist, writer of all time.
Right
this guy is incredible. Yeah, incredible.
Crazy.
The amount of work that he puts into this book has been going for, I don't know now, 15, 20 years, and it's still going. It's the story of Miyamoto Musashi, this very famous samurai. He wrote a book called The Book of Five Rings. It's amazing. That's
how do you spell it?
Vagabond.
Okay, Vagabond.
Yeah, Vagabond. Like super worth a read, man. Like there's so many issues. His art, you can see it because like when I read it, I was traveling as well. So this is when I was living in Japan. I did this like train trip. I would take local trains all the way from.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is
so when I was reading the book, like I would end up in the places where the story was taking me, right? And then it's basically this one samurai's journey, which you can see the artist himself taking, because like I read it all in a couple of days, but like he's been doing it over 10 years, so you can see his art progress while the characters progress. It's amazing.
Badass.
My brother actually
Amazing.
told me about this just the other day, and Angela, I
He
was
is the
asking you where you get your comics. So yeah, definitely, Sig. I'm super excited to read
He
this.
is this guy is the best. He's
Yes,
the guy who made Slam Dunk as well. He's the guy that created
yeah,
Slam Dunks. Like
he
he is
created
the
Slam Dunk.
best.
Yeah. Apparently,
Nice.
if you like Prince Zuko in Avatar, if you like his like sort of character development, you will apparently like this character
I
development
don't
as
know.
well.
Well,
This
I
is
don't
what
know,
I'm
but
hearing.
well, we all know Dante Bosco is a friend of the show, so hell yeah, we love him.
but yeah, like
Yeah.
definitely check that out because Miyamoto was amazing. So and the way he did it, the way he told the story was amazing. Like so, I was reading it right.
Yeah.
Shit ton of issues already. I'm into it. Then all of a sudden, the next issue I open, it's like about the little kid on a beach, and like, what the hell's going on, right? The more I read, you don't see Miyamoto anymore, and you see this little kid, and that ends up being another run on his rival later on in the book from when this guy's a kid.
Is
So it's
this
like
like is this like Lone
I
Wolf
love
and
it.
Cub?
it's insane. It's
Is it?
insane. No, it's not like Lone Wolf Cub. No. This
Okay.
is like it's just straightforward. It's
I gotta go
life
read it.
lessons. It's fight lessons. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
All right, that's why I love this show.
Okay.
I get to find out about new
That's
stuff
my
all
number
the time.
one.
All right, for 5,000 coins, what is your question? What do you want people to know, or what do you want people to answer?
My question. Okay, let's make it easy.
Yeah.
Wolverine is my favorite character. So
Yes.
what country is that guy from? Which might be one of the best countries in the world. So what country is that?
It is the best country in the world. No, not Japan. Not Japan.
Japan.
No,
Japan.
where is Wolverine from?
Wolverine.
See, Wolverine. That's where is Wolverine from, guys? He's not from Japan. He just likes Japanese women, but he's not from Japan.
There you go.
Yeah, Canada is the correct answer.
Canada. Very nice.
Sonia and I had a vote, and I think Sonia, we've always had these. We had this conversation, right? How we think Canada is like the wonderland of the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's a better. Oh, I don't want to say it, but yeah, I definitely want to go there for sure.
There we go. Congratulations to all the winners. Yeah, so this is so funny. Sig, can you tell people what you're doing right now, or why you're outdoors?
What's that? Say it again.
Oh, can you let everybody know why you're outdoors right now?
Hello?
Oh no, okay. No,
Why am I outdoors?
Yeah,
Because
it's a really funny story. What's going on, Sig? What's going on? What other than working on comic books, what else do you run?
We run a little bocce ball tournament out here on the island for the locals. So that's what's going on today, man. I've actually took time away from that. I let other people play on my team so I hope they won. If they won, I can go back in and take the championship. But let's see what happens, man.
Nice, dude.
Here.
Was there?
I'll give one last glimpse of what we're looking at, man. Here we go. So this is we're at Bulabog Beach, the backside of Boracay, which not many people don't really know about.
The butt side.
The arse side.
The arse side.
Oh, the good side.
Yeah.
That's where the lazy
The
dog
good
is, right?
side.
I actually like the
Good
lazy
side.
dog.
This is further back.
Yes.
This is actually on the
Yes,
beach.
I'm actually. Yeah. I'm actually heading over to Lazy Dog after this. So.
Oh, tell Jilla we said hello, and then tell her I said hello, neighbor.
Sure.
Hello, neighbor. Yo, hey.
Yeah, but this is coming from Levantine, Boracay, the community center of the island, man.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. Before we let you go, did you want to give any shout outs to anything that we might have missed?
I think I gave you some pictures. So pull up one of those pictures. Let's see which one comes up.
Let's see.
So this one,
mention.
that one first. Do that one first.
Okay.
Do that one first. Yeah.
Ooh.
So this is a book. It's very near and dear to my heart. That is called Red Hillbilly. It's by my buddy Rob Armstrong. We were studio mates back in Toronto, and then he went out and did the book himself. So it's a Canadian story about this like young kid set in the early 80s, I think. It's like 83, 84, maybe. Fighting werewolves. Yeah, so it's a good time, man. It's a good time. So if anyone, you can find it.
What was
Red
the name of
Hillbilly.
What was the name of like the Canadian X-Men, or was it Alpha Flight or Alpha Team?
Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
Yeah, did people like that out
Yeah.
there? Were you influenced by that as well?
I mean, they like no, not so much.
You
We
were
still
like,
get the regular
nah. You're
X-Men
like,
too,
nah.
right?
So what? X-Men.
It's all right.
Nice.
It's all right.
Yeah. No, what other
So
honorable
that's
mentions
one.
did
So
you have?
that's Red Hillbilly. Look out for that one. And this next one is another project I worked on. Let's see. Let's bring
Let
it
me
up
see.
there.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I loaded it. No, I only loaded that one. Yeah, I only loaded
Okay,
that one.
cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's called Masters of the Sun. You can Google it.
Masters of the Sun. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
one that
So it was published by Marvel, produced by the Black Eyed Peas, and I did the colors for that one as well.
Oh,
But what's
dude,
cool
yeah.
about that one is because it's an AR comic book. So it's like if you get the comic and you get the app, you put the app you put the phone on the comic, and then like it comes to life. So you'll see 3D characters come out. They'll narrate it. It's narrated by like Snoop is in there.
The music is there
Guru
too.
is one of the voices. Yeah, it's all there, man. So check that out.
That's
Wow,
rad,
that's
dude.
really cool. What app is this?
It's called Masters of the Sun. Like you got to get the comic and the app. Yeah.
And the app.
There it
Okay.
is.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow. That's super
wow,
cool.
that's really cool.
So like that's like the future of comics, which is really cool.
Yeah. Two Dash guy says he's a DC guy actually, but Titans by Wolfman and Perez actually.
I love how he
Awesome. I
love how he said Lucky Bastitch. That's actually logo lingo. Bastitch.
Yeah.
Actually, bring back to Titans. I didn't know. I thought I'd be mad at that show, but I really enjoyed it, man.
Which one, Titans?
Titans, yeah. I thought I would hate it, but like it was really. I thought it was good, man.
Yeah. What else? Sorry, did you have any honorable mentions that you missed out on?
Honorable mentions. Let me see. I actually need to finish reading this one, Transmetropolitan. I think it's
that's
really
great
cool.
too.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, I read that one. I like that one. Yeah,
super cool. And like,
I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't know how I felt about that one. I think I was more confused than anything when I read that one. It was good.
I know what you're saying. Like, I want to like it, but I didn't know if I like it. But the more I read, I started to like it. But the first few episodes or the first few issues were really hard to get through. I was like, I don't know.
That's Garth Ennis. Was that Warren Ellis? Warren Ellis?
I think it might have been Warren Ellis. Yeah. Oh, let me check. Transmetropolitan.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it's one of those guys. Because after reading Preacher, I started reading everything from that group of guys. Pull it up later.
The art is super.
But Authority, the Authority is amazing.
The Authority is tight.
The Authority.
I like the
Planetary is amazing.
Planetary. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, I was really sad that I didn't get to put it on my list. But Amazing Spider-Man, that was probably like when I was my pre-teens. Was my favorite. Saga, I didn't get to put in the list because it's still ongoing, and I think they lost me already. I don't know if I like Saga anymore. I think I'm lost. But the one I really like right now, that I didn't make my list, but it was pretty damn close, was Paper Girls. Is anybody reading Paper Girls?
Oh, you mentioned that the other day. Yeah.
Paper Girls is super tight. It's I like these 80s like adventure stories. And the next one is Sex Criminals. I don't know if you guys have read Sex Criminals.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
That was tight. That was tight. They basically have sex, and then when they orgasm, time stops. And then when time stops, they start robbing everything. Yeah, and then
crazy.
Yeah, and then Snot Girl are kind of my new picks.
Snot Girl. Snot Girl. Can you pull up a picture of Snot Girl? I am curious.
Sure, I will put up a picture of Snot Girl. Actually,
check it. You know what? Search it privately first before you put it on the screen, man. You know.
No, I think Sonny will actually like Snot Girl.
Jay Jericho also said that Invisible.
What? That's cool. Hey, that's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, Snot Girl's tight, dude. The Invisibles, Invisibles is tight. What about you, Ron? Do you have any? Did you have any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions, maybe. Oh man, I was a huge Bendis fan, so I would say Powers, the first run of Powers.
Powers is good. Powers is good.
Which also became a show I guess of recently. But I didn't get to check out the show, but just that first run was awesome. Who Killed Retro Girl? So I would, and I believe on issue 13, I actually made it in the mail. I got to, I wrote him a letter. And he printed my letter. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So issue 13, I think I'm in that one.
Nice.
But
Okay.
that I would also say Watchmen, of course, would probably been
Oh,
would have been on my list.
Yep.
Batman, Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller run, Daredevil, Frank Miller run.
Oh yeah, those were serious,
God, I
dude.
mean,
Frank Miller Frank Miller dealt with like the heavy topics, man. But
yeah, he did. But man, I mean, yeah, like I was gonna say, Watchmen also should have been up there. You know,
Did
But it's in
anybody
so
like
many lists
Umbrella
already, man.
Academy?
Everybody knows
it's
Watchmen.
hard.
Everyone,
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns.
It's
Everyone.
hard. It's hard. I mean,
Watch-
when you have
yeah.
brought up League, you know, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I was like, oh, that has to be in a lot of people's top
Yeah.
3 or top 4.
Man,
top 5.
this is why. Hey, Ron, can you just
So
pick me up
good.
any graphic novels you see when you get to Goodwill? Because man, you know how
Oh,
much
I
these
got
things are
you.
These are 50 pesos in the U.S.
Fable.
That's a good
Yo.
book.
Yeah.
Too, man. That's a good
Yeah.
book.
I was gonna say, shout out to when I was in the Philippines. Shout out to Phil Bars. They kept me locked down. I would walk in there spending thousands and thousands because they would just have so many.
Oh, you shout out Phil
novels,
Bars?
Pesos, right?
all
You-
that stuff. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
You know what? I
It's
want
a
to
hunt.
shout out. I want to shout out the fully booked right next to
Yeah.
Surrendra
Across-
because
yeah.
because when I lived there, I would just
Close.
my
They
morning
closed,
ritual.
man.
Yeah, but let me just tell you my morning ritual. My morning ritual was to go to Fully Booked, go downstairs, pick up all the comics I wanted, bring it up to the 3rd floor to Starbucks, order a coffee and a cake, and I would just read all the comics just at the Starbucks.
That's awesome.
That's a morning ritual at Fully Booked Starbucks.
Yeah, let's give a shout out also to E.O. Marcos. He brought out The Killing Joke. That's probably one of my favorite. I mean,
That's
it's so
heavy.
wrong. So when that book came out, I was so lucky to get a first printing because all the other this is a time where first printing, second printing was a thing to us. So to get a Killing Joke with a green text on it, like if you got a yellow one or a different colored one, you'd know like, oh, that's a second printing. You missed out, dude. So a lot of my friends had to pay extra just to get the first printing. So Killing Joke is also, I put that probably in my top 3 also. It just depends on the day. Depends on the day. So yeah.
I just got this one, the Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, I haven't read it yet, but a lot of people really, really love that book too, saying that's one of the best recent arcs to come out.
All right, well, we got to get Sig back to his bocce tournament, guys. So I want to thank everybody for watching Usapan Retro. Hey, Ron, you want to shout out what we're supposed to say at the end of every episode? It's scrolling right there on the bottom.
Scrolling.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yo, shout out to everyone out there. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Podcast Network Asia. And we are powered by Podmetrics. And you know what? If your podcast isn't powered by Podmetrics, it's booty. It's booty, yo. Let's go, guys.
Yo, shout out to everybody. Thank you for watching another episode of Usapan Retro. Shout out to EO, Makusu, Jay Jericho, all the new users. 2-Guy. Hey, message us. We need to talk to you because you know you're
Yeah.
Thank you so much.